Welcome. Today I will tell you a tragic story. A story about a country that had everything and lost everything. This is a true story about Venezuela, a country in South America. Let me tell you how its richest country became the poorest, how paradise became hell. This story, it's still happening right now, today. Let us go back to the year 1970. Venezuela was rich, very rich, one of the richest countries in Latin America. Why? Because Venezuela had something valuable: oil, black gold. Venezuela had more oil than almost any country in the world. The government sold oil to the whole world. Money poured in, billions of dollars every single year. The country was wealthy. The people were happy. Venezuelans could buy nice cars, big houses, good food. They traveled to other countries for vacation. Life was good, very good. People called Venezuela Switzerland of South America because it was so rich, so stable, so successful. In Caracas, the capital city, you could see modern buildings, shopping malls, restaurants, theaters. The streets were clean, safe, beautiful. Venezuelan currency, the bolivar, was strong, very strong. 1 bolivar could buy a lot. People had jobs, good jobs with good salaries. Children went to school. Universities were good. Hospitals had medicine, equipment, doctors. Everything worked. The future looked bright, very bright. Venezuela was a success story. But this success would not last, because something was about to change, something terrible. In 1999, a man named Hugo Chavez became president. Chavez was a former soldier. He promised to help poor people, to share the oil wealth with everyone, not just the rich. This sounded good. People voted for Chavez. They believed him. They trusted him. They hoped he would make their lives better. At first, things seemed good. Chavez took oil money and gave it to poor people. Free housing, free food, free healthcare, free education. People were happy. They loved Chavez. But there was a problem, a big problem. Chavez was spending more money than the country was making. The government was printing money, lots of money, to pay for everything. But printing money does not create real wealth. It creates inflation. What is inflation? Inflation means prices go up. Your money becomes worth less. At first, inflation was small, not a problem, but it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. By 2010, people started noticing. Prices were rising. Food cost more. Clothes cost more. Everything cost more. But salaries did not increase. People had less money to buy things. They started struggling. Then, in 2013, Hugo Chavez died. A new president, Nicolas Maduro, took power. Maduro continued Chavez's policies, but made them worse, much worse. He printed even more money. The government took control of businesses, oil companies, farms, factories. They did not know how to run them. Production collapsed. Venezuela was producing less oil, less food, less everything. But the government kept printing money, and inflation became hyperinflation. What is hyperinflation? It means prices double every few weeks or even days. Your money becomes worthless almost overnight. Let me give you an example. In 2012, $1 was worth about 10 bolivars. By 2016, $1 was worth 1,000 bolivars. By 2018, $1 was worth 250,000 bolivars. Yes, 25 million. Can you imagine your money losing value so fast, so completely? People's life savings became worthless in months. Someone who saved for 30 years now had nothing. Their money could not even buy bread. A loaf of bread in 2012 cost 2 bolivars. By 2018, the same bread cost 2,500,000 bolivars. Imagine going to the store with a bag full of cash, millions of bills, just to buy one loaf of bread. This was reality in Venezuela. People stopped counting money. They weighed it because counting took too long. There were too many bills. Money became worthless paper. Children used Bolivar bills to make paper crafts because the bills were worth less than the paper they were printed on. But the crisis was not just about money. It was about survival. Stores were empty. Empty. No food, no medicine, no supplies, nothing. Why? Because businesses could not operate. The government controlled prices. They said, you must sell bread for this price, milk for this price. But the prices, they were too low, lower than production costs. So businesses lost money on every sale. They closed down, stopped producing. The shelves became empty. People were starving, actually starving, in a country that was once so rich. Hospitals became nightmares. No medicine, no equipment, no supplies. Doctors worked with nothing. Surgery with no anesthesia. Babies born with no incubators. People dying from simple diseases that should be easy to treat, but there was no medicine. Diabetes patients could not find insulin. Cancer patients could not get chemotherapy. People died not because doctors were bad, but because there was nothing to work with. Mothers watched their children die from diseases that should not kill anyone, not in the 21st century. Crime exploded. Robberies, kidnappings, murders every single day. Caracas became one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Gangs controlled the streets. People were afraid to leave their homes, even in daylight. Venezuela had one of the highest murder rates in the world. Thousands of people killed every year. The police could not stop it, or would not. Many police were corrupt, working with criminals, or they had no equipment, no cars, no bullets. They were powerless. People started leaving Venezuela by the thousands, then by the millions. They walked across borders to Colombia, to Peru, to Chile, to Ecuador, anywhere that was not Venezuela. Entire families walking for weeks with nothing, just the clothes on their backs. They left behind everything, their homes, their jobs, their lives, because staying meant starving, meant dying. By 2024, over 7 million Venezuelans have left. 7 million out of a population of 28 million. That's a quarter of the entire country gone. This is one of the largest refugee crises in the world. I will tell you a real story about Maria. Maria was a teacher in Caracas. She had a good job, a nice apartment, a comfortable life. In 2014, her monthly salary was 5,000 bolivars. That was equal to about $500. Good money. She could buy food, pay rent, save money, live well. But then inflation started. Her salary stayed the same, 5,000 bolivars, but prices kept rising. By 2016, her salary was worth $50. By 2018, it was worth $5. $5 per month for a teacher with a university degree working full-time. Maria could not buy food. She lost weight, 20 kilograms in 1 year, from 65 kilos to 45 kilos. She was starving, like millions of others. This became known as the Maduro diet. People are losing weight not from exercise, from hunger. Maria tried to find food. She waited in line for hours, sometimes 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours, just to buy one chicken or some rice, if the store had any. Often, after waiting all day, there was nothing. The shelves were empty. Maria went home with nothing, hungry, exhausted, hopeless. In 2019, Maria made a decision. She would leave. She sold everything, her furniture, her TV, her clothes, everything. She got enough money to buy a bus ticket to Colombia. She left Venezuela with one backpack. That was all. In Colombia, Maria worked as a cleaner, as a waitress, any job she could find.